Hello, I hope your learning journey is going well. If you are new to this channel, I highly recommend starting with the earlier videos in this playlist because they lay the foundation that will help you follow this tutorial more confidently. However, if you already have a basic understanding of data analysis, feel free to jump right in. Before we proceed, let's clear up a common misconception. You don't need Excel, SPSS, Python, or any software at all to begin analyzing data. If you're a beginner, it is far more beneficial to start with the rudiments of data analysis. By this, I mean to understand the first principles. Before computers ever existed, scientists used pens, paper, and hand-drawn graphs to explore and interpret data. Today, tools like Excel, SPSS, and Python simply enhance the process by making it faster and capable of handling much larger and more complex datasets. So, I won't be using any analytical software in this tutorial. Instead, we will apply first principles to understand how data analysis really works at the core. Let's begin by looking at the basic structure of a dataset. Every dataset should have a title that clearly describes what the data is about. Next, it will have columns which are also called features, and this should logically relate to the title. For example, if your dataset is about supermarket sales, it wouldn't make sense to find malaria test results in it. Each feature will have values listed beneath it. For instance, in our sample dataset, we have a column called color. A value like green or red is a data point, or more precisely, a value under this column. Finally, each row represents one complete observation, which refers to all the values recorded for a single entity or transaction. So, in this case, one row equals one sale or transaction. Now that we understand the structure, how do we begin analyzing data? Well, one of the most powerful tools in all of data analysis, whether you are dealing with qualitative or quantitative data, is the simple act of counting. It might sound basic, but don't underestimate it. Counting is how we make sense of patterns. It is how we identify what appears often, what is rare, and what is missing. In fact, many of the charts, metrics, and KPIs you will come across in real-world data analysis are just variations of counts. Maybe they are grouped, compared, or visualized. They are still fundamentally as a result of counts. Take elections, for example. Who wins? The candidate with the highest count of votes. Or in business, what product is most popular? Simply put, the product with the highest purchase count. This is why we say, if you can count, you can analyze. Let's apply this to a qualitative data set. Let's analyze the column labeled color. Our first task will be to draw a frequency distribution table and identify the unique values in the column. In this case, yellow, green, blue, and red. Next, count how often each appears. Yellow appears 5 times, green 8 times, blue 4 times, and red 2 times. The table is ready because it now contains all the relevant metrics needed to create our chart. It is time to visualize the results using a bar chart. Bar charts are effective because humans naturally interpret length and height quickly and intuitively. We start by drawing the chart axis. Label one axis with the categories, in this case, colors, and then the other with a range of values up to the highest frequency count. Next, draw bars for each category, with height corresponding to their frequency. To make the chart even easier to understand, we can sort the bars in descending order of frequency. This is perfectly acceptable for nominal data since these categories don't have a natural order. As you can see, green balls were purchased the most, while red balls were the least favored in terms of sales. Let's extend our frequency distribution table to include the total price of balls for each color category. We follow the same steps to create the chart, but this time the vertical axis represents the total price instead of frequency. We can also sort the ball colors based on their total price. From the chart, we can see that red balls contribute the highest total price, while green contributes the least. However, if your data is ordinal, that is, it has a natural order, you should respect that order in your chart. Take, for example, the column labeled customer class with values bronze, silver, and gold. Don't sort by frequency or value. Instead, plot the chart according to the expected value. It is just like the alphabet. If you rearrange it randomly, it loses its meaning unless you're trying to form a word. Another best practice in data visualization is to always comment below your chart. This doesn't mean you need to write an essay, just a few lines summarizing your observations. For example, you might note which category has the highest or lowest frequency, or mention a pattern you noticed. This habit encourages deeper thinking and forces you to engage critically with the data. Let's continue with our visualization and report our observations. The first step is to ask your data a question, visualize it, and then document your observations. You will typically follow this template for clarity. In this case, I will report that the majority of customers purchase green balls, while the fewest people purchase the red balls. I will leave the comments like this because there isn't much more to discuss for now. I will spin up the second visualization. This time my comment will be red generated the most revenue, while green generated the least. Although the unit cost of the balls is not stated, it appears that red balls are typically more expensive than the rest, and green is the least expensive. This could be why many people go for green ball, because it is cheap. This phenomenon was observed with BlackBerry phones, where the white variant costs more than other options of the same specification and model due to value perception. Notice that I carried the information from my previous chart into the current one. Likewise, also pay attention to the tone. As you do this more often, the data will begin to speak to you. You will start noticing trends and developing insights. And that is the power of analyzing qualitative data using first principles. No software, just logic, structure, and visual storytelling. Now it is time for exercise. Try to visualize the customer class and product color on a single chart and report your findings. In the next video, we will explore how to begin analyzing quantitative data. If you find this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with others who are learning. See you in the next video.